Hey everyone, David Lee here, Texas Horns football, finishing up our 2019 position previews, breakdowns, wrapping it up here possibly with the most overlooked and maybe underrated group, but a pretty quick group. We're looking at the kickers, kick returners, and then just touching on a couple of thoughts on overall special teams for the season. So don't forget to leave your comments on who you think is going to be starting, maybe back there at kick returner. Will we see some of these freshmen back there? And just kind of what you expect to see. Don't forget to give the video a like. So let's jump into who we think is going to roll out there. So obviously the kicking duties, Dicker the kicker returning after his true freshman season, so he'll be a true sophomore. Had a little over 72% of his field goals made, which was actually the best percentage since Nick Rose in 2015. So we saw definitely some down years with some low percentages in the low 60s, but I think he proved that he can kick a long one. Obviously, the coaches trusted him to do the game winner against Oklahoma, a huge kick, one of the biggest kicks in the history of that rivalry, the way that fourth quarter actually ended up playing out. So, was super impressed by his, just his calmness and coolness, which is exactly what you want in a kicker. It's kind of like golf, very, very specialized. Kickers can be finicky though. They can get inside their own head, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. Obviously, a huge game against LSU in week 2. I think we're definitely going to need, yes, everybody's going to have to be on their A game, but especially going to have to rely on the kicking game as well. So, a lot of confidence there, I think. We were kind of spoiled with some awesome place kickers over the past, really over the past 10 years. But, definitely I think gives the offense a lot of confidence, and also gives the coaches confidence in just what they can do with the offense out there, and just knowing that, hey, we've got a guy that we can actually rely on, and knowing where his strengths and weaknesses lie, and then being able to just be more creative and maybe take some more chances on offense, and then having the confidence in a quarterback, in Sam as the quarterback. So and then obviously looking at the punter, the sophomore, Ryan Bujcevski, the cousin of Michael Dickson. It's a little unfair to expect what we saw from Michael Dickson, in 2017, arguably the most impactful player on the team. He finished the season with about 47 yards per punt, and that just absolutely flips the field. Now, his cousin last year was about 40 yards per punt. Not bad. Obviously that has to do with, I think just expectation of is he going to be as good as his cousin? I don't know if anybody could be. That season that Dickson had was just absolutely amazing. So Ryan comes in as a sophomore, averaging about 40 yards per punt. Now, over the course of, I believe he had about 63 punts. So, that's 450 yards, somewhere around there total. That's that adds up, right? And what you want, obviously, in a guy, situational wise, is to pin the offense back as far as we can. Try to pin it inside the 10. Dickson was absolutely mind-blowingly phenomenal at pinning teams inside the 10, sometimes inside the 5. But I think they're both sophomores, so I think you have about as much confidence as you can have in sophomores as your kickers. Hopefully these guys just get more and more time, more and more reps, and just build up their own confidence. Taking a look at the returners, what we saw last year was pretty much Jamison, Brandon Jones, and LJ Humphery. Jamison did have a punt return for a touchdown, so I fully expect to see him back there as the primary punt returner. Brandon Jones, I absolutely like him back there, but that being his senior season, wouldn't be surprised if his kick return duties were decreased. Could we still see him back there, returning kicks? I definitely think so. Fully expect Jamison to return. I liked him last year. The blocking could have been better for him, I think. And then I threw Jordan Whittington in there, the true freshman running back. Everybody's super pumped about him, about what he's going to bring from the backfield, lining up there, with Keontae Ingram maybe in the backfield at the same time, or just going on some drives and while Ingram gets a rest. But Whittington is the type of player that you just want to get the ball in his hands in open space and open field. So I put him in here as a possibility. Haven't really heard a lot about any of the freshmen possibly doing that. It's definitely something that you don't want a freshman muffing a punt or muffing a kick or making a bad decision on fair catching or fumbling. You've got to have somebody back there that you really trust and that you really rely on. So I think it's going to be pretty rare to see a true freshman back there, but possible. Maybe even Jake Smith. I don't know. Maybe there's some situational things where they want to see if Whittington or Jake Smith can provide some type of explosiveness on a kick return. Who knows? So it's something that I think the coaches can play around with, but it's pretty exciting. And just kind of overall thoughts about special teams. It's always great when we get a blocked kick. We saw Caden Stearns last year block a kick and scoop that up against USC. I believe it was Anthony Wheeler that scooped up that block. But that's always cool to see. Obviously, it always makes a massive impact. And anytime you can set the offense up in a great situation with half the field or less, that's awesome to see. So hopefully we see a lot more of that this year. It's not something that you just always expect, but it's something that goes so much overlooked and I believe is so underrated. It's exciting and everybody loves it when it happens, but overall, you want a good return game to set the offense up and to be able to give Tim Beck and Tom Herman and Sam a lot of options for completing a drive or just getting something going. You never want to try to have to run plays just to get out of your own end zone, right? You don't want to have to say, okay, well, we're going to have to basically waste about 3 plays just to give us some cushion. So that's kind of what I'm looking for this year. Not expecting, a whole heck of a lot from the kick returners. I just don't see a super dynamic kick returner unless somebody like Whittington or Jake Smith maybe turns out to be like that. So those are my thoughts, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Definitely don't forget to check out our other videos on each position, breaking down each position. We're also going to do a video just kind of looking at your comments. I'm taking some screenshots of some of the top comments, and we'll go over those and answer those as well. Don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like, share it out. Also, check us out on our Facebook page at Texas Horns Football. We have over 50,000 Longhorns fans on the page. So come chat with us. We'd love to see you. Bye. Hook 'em.